What's up, everybody on YouTube? It's been a while since I've actually made a video since the Ibansasat TV, where I was complaining about basically the Rainforest Fringe Festival. So done and over with that. But I actually had something right after that that I really wanted to put up on the yoga studios in Sarawak. It is still on my mind. I still have the material of it. It's just I just haven't had the time. It's now January. Happy New Year, by the way. And I just need to reset. I don't know if you feel the same, but over the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, and really leading up to that, it is just jam packed with stuff. Just stuff that we're finishing up. Meeting people, meeting friends, family get togethers. It becomes really, really too much for me. And I don't really talk about it so much, but I really am an introvert in many, many ways. There's a lot of the things that I do that is my profession, and it is my purpose to heal, but I do feel that it's just too much energy is around, and I just get overwhelmed by it. So I'm currently in Miri in Sarawak, and I decided to run away and take a break for a few days. A mere, really, as we're counting right now, 65 hours, and I'll be going back to KL soon. But I wanted to make this video because I have stumbled across something that I don't want to say it was really by accident. I think there really was an intention for it subconsciously. I really felt the need. And truth be told, if you are following me on IG, it is the Millennial Body Worker. And I've already posted up a very small snippet of what this is on my IGTV. It really started off with coming back and not feeling happy with anything. I felt completely unsatisfied with everything that I was consuming and everything that was coming to me. Like I said, there were way too many people, there was too much food, too much drinking, it was just too much of everything, and I was feeling overwhelmed. So by the time I landed in Miri, I felt like I needed to just quit everything. Out of pure tiredness, out of pure laziness, I didn't want to think about food, I didn't want to go to the store, which it really isn't so far away. If I really think about it, all I need to do is reverse my car out of the driveway and get to the mart, which is all of a minute away. I just couldn't be bothered to do that. I didn't even want to drink. I just felt like, what's that word? I felt like going in within myself. I felt like hibernating, but literally hibernating. It wasn't like I was watching any TV or eating or none of that. I didn't even feel like junk food, nothing. I just really felt like nothing. So I thought, okay, I am very used to going on fasts. I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. The youngest, I think I was about 12. I was 12 when I went on my first fast. And it's because, my family, we were born under as Catholics. My mom is a very staunch Catholic, and I was baptized and all that, and then I went to Lent. So Lent is our fast, really, and we started fasting, or I personally started fasting with like taking chocolate out of my life and seeing how that felt, and taking, for example, what was after that? Not calling on the phone, because before that. Before hand phones and internet, you're just talking to people on the phone, and I was just talking for hours, so I cut that out as well. And cutting Coca-Cola out, because I was massively addicted to Coca-Cola when I was about 15, cut that out. And what I love about fasting is that it teaches you not only discipline, but knowing that you are powerful. It really empowers you when you know, like, I actually don't really need these things. I don't really need to have chocolate every single day. I don't really need to talk to anybody on the phone ever, actually, or every single hour. And I really don't need to have Coca-Cola in my life. So I continue with this, I guess, routine every single year, until it came to the point where I ran out of things to quit because I wasn't addicted to anything. So then I asked my mom, like, what should I do? And she said, well, Jesus, he was fasting. He was a vegetarian. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. So my mom explained it to me, and I became a vegetarian for 40 days, 40 nights. And that was the first time I dabbled and realized I actually don't need meat in my life. I can still perform. And at the time, as a teenager, I was a swimmer. I wouldn't say I was a competitive swimmer because I don't like competition. Going back to being an introvert and people, it's too much. But I was swimming 3 times a week, 25 laps in those 3 times a week. Well, in the day. So in the day, 25 laps 3 times a week. Yeah, I felt really, really energetic. And so that went on, and I eventually came back to that and became a vegetarian again, more like pescatarian than anything. Throughout my early 20s, so between 20 and 21 for a year and a half, and then I went back to meat again. So I know that I always come back. It's like, I feel like my body just needs it, or craves it, or misses it. But something happened around my 29th birthday. I suppose it was my 29th birthday. Yeah, it was around my 29th birthday. I already felt like there was a shift in something around my 28th birthday. I felt like something had changed. And I remember telling my friend, like, something's wrong. I can't figure it out, but something is wrong. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I just moved along, and I was injured. There was a time that I was injured, and I had no choice but to quit yoga and Pilates for a while. I had a pole dancing injury. It was just really pathetic. Anyway, so that's when I got into meditation. I went to somebody who said, you gotta try meditating. And I remember rolling my eyes and thinking, like, oh man, this is like woo stuff. But I got into it, and eventually I got into the Vipassana meditation. It was a 10-day Vipassana meditation. And then after that, I went to a Qigong meditation, a 10-day Qigong meditation. And that really changed everything, where I felt the need. It wasn't even a need. It was natural for me to get on a mat, sit on a pillow, and just meditate. And I was doing it every single hour. Eventually, I heard a voice, and we can figure out what it is, but I'm not going to go into explaining what the voice was because everybody has an idea of what this voice was. But this voice told me to stop eating meat. The voice actually told me to eat more salads and eat more greens. And that I thought was really weird already because I had been such a massive meat eater, except for the times when I was vegetarian, but I ate a lot of fish anyway. So there was always some sort of animal product or animal in my meal. And then eventually, I had more salads, and then I went on another fast. I went for 40 days, 40 nights, having only 2 meals a day, and it was as a raw vegan. How did I even discover that? Because I actually kind of thought in the beginning that I would die. That's really how I thought. It's like, where are these voices coming from? Are they trying to kill me? But I did my research, found out there was a group of people in the world who were alive and well and strong, eating nothing but plant-based foods, like nothing from an animal at all. No meat, no fish, no chicken, no milk, no dairy products, no eggs. And I decided to do it, but I decided to go on raw. I felt like there was something in it that I needed to do, and I did it for 40 days, 40 nights. Eventually, the last week or two, I was only eating once a day. I was only eating once a day, with the rest of the day just fasting. And I just broke my fast with just raw fruits, which was amazing. And I ended up being a raw vegan for a whole year until eventually I felt like that also became a little bit too much. I felt like it was too much raw and not enough cooked, and I was not feeling grounded. Even though I was meditating a lot, I really felt like I was up in the air and super dizzy. So I ended up not doing that so much anymore. For a while I was still meditating, but I wasn't meditating every day. I mean, it really depleted from like every day to 3 times a week to twice a week to once a week to once in a while. I mean, if I can get in a twice a week thing, that is a good week. That is a really good week. But I still always continued my spiritual journey, whether it be through yoga or Tai Chi or any kind of movement. And whenever I can, and whenever I felt like I really needed it, I would go into meditation. But it was becoming bad, where I was only eating maybe raw food, maybe once or twice a week, not really enjoying the taste of fruits anymore. And I was drinking a lot of cocktails and alcohol. It's not that it's bad, but it seemed to be a lot more often than I used to, because I cut all that out for a really long time. I was eating a lot of cooked food, I was eating a lot of junk food, and meditation was minimal. So I think that it went from here to here to here to here, basically. And I obviously had enough. Now I'm talking to you about the history of that because that was in 2000, and I really felt the shift already in 2009, and I was already 28. By 2010, I was already getting into the meditation, and the end of the year, I was already in the Vipassana meditation. So, and then the Chico meditation, and that's when everything just started. Everything like blew up into this vegan thing. It's not even a big deal now, because like now nobody thinks I'm gonna die, which is really funny. 8 years later, and this is, I mean, this is just for my records, really. 8 years later, everybody's totally fine with it. If anything, Kuala Lumpur is like super popular with vegan stuff now, and everybody's doing the gluten-free stuff, and everybody's getting on the kefir bandwagon. But at the time, 8 years ago, everybody was worried about me. Everybody thought I shouldn't do it. It's too extreme and I'm going to die. So now I seem to be going on that cycle. So I was doing some research on dry fasting, because I felt like this is the next step for me. This is where I want to, I just feel like there's a calling. Do I hear voices? No. But I haven't really been meditating every single day for a year before it actually happened. Maybe if I did that, maybe it would have been a little bit different. Anyway, but I know that there was a calling. Like I know, like I need to do a dry fast. I need to reset my body. I need to recharge and just realign myself, because something needs to give. It needs to be different this time. So I decided that it would be dry fasting. And going back to this cycle, the 10-year cycle or the 8-year cycle, it depends on who you talk to. It depends on whether you talk to, who you talk to. It depends on who you listen to, really, because I've been listening to various intuitives and psychics, and I'll say whether it's the 7-year cycle or the 9-year cycle or the 10-year cycle, it's a cycle, and it's happening right now between 7 and 10 years, and when I go into the cycle, shit happens, and I feel it. I feel like something is happening already. I decided that I'd be on my dry fast, and I'm going up to, let's see, I'm already up to my 65th hour in my dry fast, and I'm feeling fantastic. Whenever I was feeling in the slump, I would just either take a nap, or I would do a little bit of yoga, do a lot of breathing, and imagining like the breath is, or the air is energy, and it's been really great. It's been really, really great. I'm a little bit stunned, but I'm also, this is the same kind of stun that I had when I became vegan and when I became raw vegan. Like, this is the amazingness, and I have to be very careful about this feeling, because it is quite a happy, it's a happy feeling, it's a happy high, and I know where it can go to. No matter what, anything can be bad if it's done overboard, right? Too much of any good thing is bad. So it makes me really think. But yeah, so I've done 65 days of a dry fast, and I'm feeling really, really amazing. I have been doing a lot of research into breatharianism, because if you go on YouTube, you will find a lot of YouTubers, they're doing dry fast for the fitness goals and getting pumped, and you can totally do that. And I can see how that works because today, on my third day, I thought I was going to be really tired, but I felt like I had more energy to do yoga. I felt stronger and I can do like a proper chaturanga. And I'm like, what? How is it even possible? But I did it, and that's amazing. And I don't feel as tired as the second day, which is, I don't know how that's happening, and I'm feeling a lot better in my body. I deal with EDS, Ehlers-Danlos, HEDS, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and my joints in the beginning were feeling really, really painful, but now it's feeling so much better. And from in the gist of it, what I know already so far, really scraping the surface, is when your body is not given any food or any water to digest, because the body spends a lot of energy digesting. That's why you go on the slump every time you eat. I do it. I go on the slump every single time I eat, and I just want to nap because my body just does not like food. Anyway, then if there is no food in your body to digest, and the energy and the body starts to heal those places that are in pain. Not to say fully, I mean, I wouldn't know because I've only been doing this for 65 hours. I've been having some issues with my left knee, and I think a lot of the breath work has been really helpful. A lot of movement has been really helpful. And a lot of strengthening has been really, really helpful. But there was a time in the middle of the night where I felt like it was so painful I couldn't sleep, but I feel like it was going through its own recovery. Anyway, moving on, I feel like I needed to share this with you, and I've got my little water because I decided that after 65 hours, I'm going to stop for a while and start to replenish my body very slowly with water, because at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm flying back to KL. I'm going to be on a plane, and it's just torture. But it's not even that long. It's like 2 hours. But I'm going to go back into my normal life, and I want to see how I can implement dry fasting into my normal life, because that was really hard when I was a raw vegan. And I don't know, because it's been 8 years, and I'd like to think I'm a little bit wiser from 8 years ago, that maybe it was a mental state. And if I were to be really, really cautious and really conservative, can I do periods of dry fasting in my normal life without feeling burnt out or dead, So is it actually possible? As a yoga Pilates instructor and as a body worker, it takes a lot of energy out of me. So is it possible? Now I have to say, like, my aura is feeling pretty darn strong. So I'm quite confident, but I have to tread carefully. So this is what this YouTube clip is about. I'm not putting anything fancy on it. I just don't have the time for it. I have my computer died, and I had to add on my video editing software program, and I love the video editing, but it's not. Yeah, it's better for me just to upload and then see who is interested in knowing more. So it's a little bit more raw and just unedited and just is. So that's it for now. Let me just drink this before I end. So I've already blessed and I've already sang to it, made some mantras. So this is blessed water after 65 hours of not eating or drinking. Cheers. Yeah, that was really refreshing. I kind of feel like I could have gone a lot more longer without the food or water, but I just, like, it's going to be 3. I gotta pack and I gotta go, and I have I've got a lemon there, just staring at me, and more water, and I just want to get this in, because I also didn't really start the fasting in the right direction. I just kind of did it instead of actually preparing for it. So I know how to do it better. But it has been a fantastic experience. So I'll definitely do it again. So okay, that's it. Cheers. I'm done for today. I'm gonna upload this and see how you all think. It's super super raw. I might have been looking at myself too much in the video itself, and not really at the camera. Whatever. So moving on, I will talk to you soon whenever I get the chance. Lots of love. Oh, this is good. I'm gonna like this water. I'm gonna like this water.